Hey, second grade. Today is Tuesday. We're going to do a writing lesson. I hope that you tuned in yesterday to listen to my story. If you didn't, you can go back to reading day 6 and listen to the story, and then you can tune in right now to do our writing lesson that goes with the book. Yesterday in the book, there was a lot of letters being written between the character Emily and her teacher, Mr. Blueberry. She was writing him letters and he was writing her letters back. The letters were going in the mail. Remember, we talked about the stamp. So today we're going to practice how to write a friendly letter. A friendly letter is one that you would just write to one of your friends or your parents or your sisters or brothers, or if you wanted to send a letter to your grandma. You could use this format to write a friendly letter. On the top, on the right, it says heading. That's usually where we would put the date. So do you know today's date? Today is Tuesday. It's actually March 31st, and the year is 2020. So we always write the month first with a capital, the date, the day, comma, and the year. That's what goes on the heading line is the date. To tell the person what date are you sending this letter. The next line says greeting. The greeting usually starts with the word dear, just like Dear Mr. Blueberry. So we're going to write dear. Capital D, space, and then you write who are you writing the letter to. I'm going to write my letter to you. So I'm going to say, dear students, comma. Start that person's name or that greeting with a capital letter. So if you were going to write Dear Grandma, you would write capital G for grandma, and then you're writing a comma. So we have the date on the heading, the greeting with dear, capital letter, comma. Now this part, you can see it's called the body of the letter. The body of the letter is what you're actually going to say in your letter. You can write sentences that are statements that have periods, or you can write sentences that are questions that you would like to know something and the person can answer your question back. If you notice on all these lines, the first line is pushed in. That's called indented. It's indented because that's how you start a paragraph. So the first line gets pushed in, we call that indented, and then we start our sentence. So if I was writing you a letter today, I would say, Dear students, I hope you are doing well. Exclamation point, because I am excited about that. I hope you are doing well. I really do. I hope that you guys are all doing okay. I know this is a tough time and it's very strange, but I hope you're doing okay. I hope you are doing well. I am spending my time at home. I have been cleaning a lot. Let's see, what else have I been doing? I have been reading. I have some chapter books that I've been reading. I have been cleaning, comma, reading. And I also have been playing with my dog, Penny. If you watched a couple days ago, she was on the video. Maybe she'll be on again tomorrow. So, dear students, indent, I hope you are doing well. I am spending my time at home cleaning, reading, and playing with my dog, Penny. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to ask a question by putting a sentence that has a question mark at the end. What have you been doing at home? Question mark. What have you been doing at home? I would really like to know that. What have you guys been doing? I'd like to ask another question. Have you read any great books? Have you read any great books? Question mark, because I would really like to know that. I hope the weather gets warm soon so we can get fresh air outside. My last sentence is just a statement. It ends with a period. So I wrote the body of my letter. I told you something, I asked you something, and I ended it. Now the closing and the signature are the last two. Just like in Dear Mr. Blueberry, she wrote, "Love, Emily." So the closing is the way that you're going to end your letter. You can write yours truly, you can write sincerely, you can write love, you can write from. I'm going to write yours truly. I think that's a nice ending. Capital Y, capital T, yours truly, comma. And then if you know how to sign your name, you can sign your name. Yours truly, Mrs. Thomas. That's how I sign my name. So we have a heading with a date, comma with the year. We have a greeting, dear students, with a comma. We started with indenting. We have sentences that have exclamation points. We have some telling sentences that have periods. And we have some question sentences that end with question marks. At the end, you have a closing. You can write yours truly, you can write love, you can write from, sincerely, and then you sign your name, Mrs. Thomas, because I'm the one writing this letter. So I would love if you guys can write a friendly letter to somebody if you have a piece of paper at home. If you can write a friendly letter, start with your date, your greeting, the body of your letter, and your closing signature. If you can write a letter to someone, that would be so great. You can take a picture of it. You can send it to your teacher on Remind. If you want to write your teacher a letter, you can take a picture of it and send it to your teacher to their email address. There's many ways that you can get a letter to your teacher if you'd like to do that, or you can write a letter to someone in your family. Maybe your mom or dad might have a stamp and you can put it in the mail just like the way this had a stamp, and maybe the post office can deliver it. I know if you guys write me a letter, I would write you a letter right back. I'm sure your teacher actually would too. So please practice writing a friendly letter with some statements with ending in periods and some questions ending with a question mark. This was a great lesson with you today. Thanks for chiming in. If you want to read the book again, go back to yesterday's lesson. Thanks, guys.